Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another video, and today we have another video for you where I break down a meta weapon. In today's video, I will be covering the Vanguard STG. I'll give you a few loadout build recommendations and what kind of playstyle they usually will suit. I'll do a quick breakdown of recoil and recoil control, and to top it off, I'll throw in a couple of small clips of the gun in action. If you like today's video, don't forget to like and subscribe, or better yet, leave me a comment below if there's a gun you want me to do a similar breakdown on. So the first build recommendation is the one I use and the one I think is best for mid to mid-long engagements. For the long engagements, this is best suited for someone that can control the recoil fairly well, or someone that naturally mounts during engagements. The only thing I would be changing would be the re-grip. If you prefer a slightly better ADS time, then I would swap this out to the polymer grip. You'll need to be able to catch the initial recoil though. It is quite a laser after a few bullets. This build should be nicely paired with an aggressive short-range AR for an overkill class, or if using restock or ghost, it is best to make sure you have a solid close-range secondary. The second build recommendation is essentially the same as the first build, but change it to the 60 round mags. This will shoot slightly slower, but it hits harder as well as having slightly more visual recoil. The 60 rounds seem to have a better TTK, but to me, I find that little bit of extra visual recoil to be annoying for long range engagements. I'm sure if you keep using the gun and get used to it, it will become second nature, but it really depends on the player. Either way, both builds are really good. The 60 rounds actually has lesser overall recoil, but seems to require a bit more effort to control. We'll get to this later on in the video. The third build is the same as the first build, but we changed the scope out to the 3 to 6 times scope and changed the re-grip to the polymer grip. This build favors mid-long to long engagements and is better for someone that usually plays a support role within the team. What I mean by support play would be someone that doesn't push into a building with teammates, but rather watches the exits in case the enemy players try to rotate to heal or run and hide. Another instance would be if you're providing cover as your teammates are rotating in an open area. This build is excellent as the 6 times scope will allow you to get a massive visual advantage. Be careful though, as there is much more visual recoil when you are zoomed in. Using this gun zoomed will be recommended if you are mounted, but then again, it's not extremely difficult to control. The final build recommendation for the STG would be for a sniper support. I would be using the slate reflector, 60 rounds and on-hand perk for this type of playstyle. Now, sniper support weapons are heavily dependent on the type of playstyle you have when you're on the move or when you need to be aggressive. Having the STG as a sniper support, you will need to keep your engagements to a mid-distance level, as you will pretty much be beaten by every SMG if you decide to push someone too aggressively. This build can be quite good for console players on 80 FOV, as the slate reflector will give you better zoom than a PC player on 110 to 120 FOV. So you might want to keep this as a mid to long range option whilst further minimizing the visual recoil. It really depends on what you favor. Moving on to recoil characteristics of the gun with the 2 different magazines everyone is using, and interestingly, the 50 rounds has a higher recoil pattern compared to the 60 round. However, it appears that the 50 round can be tamed much easier when compared to the 60 rounds. I don't know, maybe it's just me. In these clips I shoot at a spray target to show you how the gun looks when I try to control the recoil. Bear in mind that I'm shooting at a wall. For controller players, aim assist will have an effect to your overall recoil control as well. I applied a character spray and the results were quite interesting. The 60 rounds appear to have more of a side-to-side variance, whereas the 50 round has more of an up and down variance. This is probably why to me it feels like the 50 rounds is better. Everyone is different though, so it's always best to choose the build that suits you. Remember, TTKs don't matter if you don't land your shots. Well guys, that is all for the STG in today's video. Let me know if there's something I may have missed or something you'd like me to go more in detail with. Be sure to check me out on Twitch where I stream day-to-day gameplay, and as always, thank you for watching my video. I hope you have an incredible day.